there. Welcome to my cultural practices presentation. My name is Jessica McDonald, and today I am presenting on health and illness in single parents in the United States. Our learning objectives for this presentation are to learn about single parents as a culture in the United States and how health and illness is defined within this culture, to understand cultural differences between single mothers and single fathers, to gain an understanding of health challenges that single parents in the United States face, and to learn about barriers to care that exist for single parents. And just to tell you a little bit about myself, I chose to present on single parents really because I am one. I thought that having that personal insight might be helpful and make the research process a little more enjoyable, which it did. But what I realized very early on is that I never really considered single parents as a cultural group. So this is where I had to start. While single parents in the United States can come from drastically different backgrounds, they are a culture all their own with unique circumstances and needs. Single parents share a lifestyle in which they are the sole provider for themselves and their children. The cultural bond of single parenthood has sparked the formation of support groups, blogs, and publications in which participants share stories and seek information. These are mostly geared towards the single mother. Far fewer resources are available for the single father. Now, these following two slides will provide some statistical information to help paint a clearer picture of single parent circumstances in the United States. 26% of kids in America today are raised by a single parent. I was a little surprised by that statistic. It is more than a quarter of all children in America. Single mothers make up 83% of all single parents, while single fathers make up 17%. The median income for single mothers is $26,000 versus $84,000 for married couples. 43% of single mothers are poor, with 51.9% of those living in extreme poverty. 34.4% of single mothers, single mother families are food insecure. And over 3/4 of all homeless families are headed by a single mother. This slide has some information relevant to single fathers. Since 1960, the number of families led by single fathers has multiplied by 9, while families led by single mothers has quadrupled. So single parent families are certainly a fast-growing demographic in the U.S., but the single father family is growing at a much more rapid rate. Single fathers are more likely to live with a cohabiting partner, with 41% versus 16% of single mothers. Single fathers are less likely than single mothers to be poor. The percentage of single fathers living below the poverty line is 24% versus mothers at 43%. Compared to married families, single fathers are likely to be younger, less educated, less financially well off, and less likely to be white. The single father median income is $40,000 versus the single mothers at $26,000. This is a nice graph that shows the growth of various family types in the U.S. You can see that families led by single moms and dads are rapidly increasing while two-parent families are on the decline. So here I'd like to introduce my first hypothetical character. I did choose to interview both a single mother and a single father because I felt it was important to get insight from both groups. My first character here, we'll call her Jamie. Jamie is a 31-year-old single mother of her 14-year-old son, Jared. She works 2 part-time jobs. In the evening, she works at a restaurant as a bartender, and during the day, she works at a nutritional shake shop. She was raised by her single father in a family that doesn't hold any strong religious beliefs. When she was 16 years old, she found out she was pregnant. She had a healthy pregnancy, and after she delivered her son, she returned to and completed high school. Her stepmother at that point stepped in to help raise Jared and for a time gained temporary legal custody. But when Jared was about 3, paternity testing confirmed who his father was, and at that point, child support was ordered and Jamie was able to regain sole custody of Jared. He is diagnosed with asthma, ADHD. He also has some behavioral problems. So Jamie tells me that she spends lots of time corresponding with medical professionals in various fields. And this is Ronnie. He is a 36-year-old single father. He and his wife divorced about 4 years ago. Together, they were raising 2 boys. Jack, now 10, is a son to Ronnie's ex-wife and her previous partner. And Tommy was born to Ronnie and his ex-wife and is now 5 years old. Ronnie is college educated and he works full-time as an IT analyst. Both of Ronnie's boys are in good health. Ronnie's interaction with medical professionals are usually annual doctor visits, regular visits, and occasional minor illnesses like strep throat and things like that. His most recent trip to the doctor was when the youngest boy did have strep throat, and Ronnie's health is in good standing. Definitions of health. In our textbook, health is defined as the balance of the person, both within one's being, physical, mental, and spiritual, and in the outside world, natural, communal, and metaphysical. Jamie's definition of health is feeling physically and emotionally well and having enough energy to complete everyday tasks. Ronnie's definition of health is physical and mental well-being. Both of them described illness really as just the opposite of health. I think it's interesting that both Jamie and Ronnie see health as more than just their physical well-being. Healthcare concerns and circumstances for the single parent in the U.S. Single parents get significantly less sleep than parents in a 2-parent family and adults without children. Of course, lack of sleep can lead to lots of different problems. It can slow down the metabolism, which can cause weight gain, which of course then causes many other physical health issues. It also can lead to exhaustion, which lowers energy levels. It can negatively impact the immune system and increase mental and emotional stress. The second point here is single mothers are more likely to be poor than any other demographic. The economic hardships can lead to food insecurity and of course adds stress. These first 2 points I think combine to cause these next 2 points, which is that single mothers are more likely to become physically disabled and have poor health later in life. And single parents are more likely to have depressive episodes than parents in a 2-parent home. I thought this was a nice visual representation of lack of sleep in single parents. I like that it provides separate data for both single moms and single dads. You can see that in both cases, single parents get less sleep than parents in a 2-parent situation, though men seem to get a little more sleep than their female counterparts in all groups. In the beginning of this presentation, I briefly mentioned that there are several resources in the way of support groups, websites, etc., geared mostly towards the single mom. There are also several resources provided by the government to aid single parents in various ways. Some of those are represented here on this slide. There's Women, Infants, and Children, known as WIC. This organization provides food, healthcare referrals, and nutrition education to low-income mothers. In speaking with Jamie, she explained that she utilized this program when she was pregnant and in the months following Jared's birth. She explained that the folks at WIC made her feel supported and that the knowledge they gave her helped her to build confidence as a mother. I did learn also in my research that this program is also available to fathers of children under 5 years old, which I was not aware of. Then we have the Affordable Health Care Act at healthcare.gov. Ronnie explained that this website was a huge help to him when he first gained custody of the 2 boys. At that point, he had no idea how he would obtain health insurance and find a good health care provider. And then there's also Medicaid and the Children's Health Insurance Program, which provides free or discounted health care to low-income families and their children. Healthcare barriers. Single parents are often younger than non-single parents. Jamie described that her being such a young mother made her feel like she was at times judged by doctors. She said that they often talked down to her and that she was at times made to feel responsible for some of Jared's health issues. This resulted in her losing trust in medical professionals. She even said that she began to avoid doctors unless it was absolutely necessary. As we spoke about earlier, single parents are often poor. Jamie and Ronnie both spoke to me about their economic hardships and the stress that it caused them. Ronnie also made the point that he doesn't believe his kids get the best possible health care because of his inability to pay for private insurance. And then many doctors lack experience in bedside manner in interacting with single fathers. Because single fathers make up such a small percentage of all parents, doctors might have never come across one in their practice. Ronnie provided examples of times when doctors made assumptions that there was a mother at home, and he also complained of doctors asking too many questions and wanting to know how it was that he came to be a single father, and that made him a little bit uncomfortable. Culturally competent care. I think with healthcare, in order for healthcare providers to provide single parents in the U.S. with culturally competent care, they need to understand that a single parent is solely responsible for their children and the stress that that can cause. During healthcare visits, the doctor should assess the parent for depressive behaviors and sleep deprivation, as these are common conditions in single parents. Take care not to talk down to a single parent. As we saw with Jamie's experience, this can lead to a breakdown in trust in the patient-doctor relationship. As with all patients, don't make assumptions. Understand that single fathers are a growing demographic, and do not assume that when a father brings his child in for a visit, that there is a mother at home. Here is my first reference page. And the second. And there it is. Thank you so much for taking the time to view my cultural practices presentation. I look forward to seeing all of yours and wish you lots of luck in this course and beyond. Take care.